Well, hello out there to all of you little scholars of vintage vinyl, and welcome to my channel where I sit and talk about dolls. Sometimes it's Barbie, sometimes it's Illy, sometimes it's Monster High, sometimes it's Disney Princess. You get the point. Must I carry on like this? Basically, I make questionable financial decisions with dolls, but justify it by calling it content. My name is Daniel, and I am the Barbie book boy. Today, I will be liberating a lady who has been trapped in cardboard since the Reagan administration. The 1985 Tropical Barbie. We're talking face, we're talking hair, we're talking tan, we're talking the swimsuit. We're going to be talking about the mysterious yellow ruffle that has more wardrobe options than I do. This gal is from the same year as me, which I guess makes us both vintage. Yes, friends, we are cracking open a time capsule. She's been standing in this box for 4 decades, completely unaware of the internet and social media and things like ride sharing. And since I turned 40 last year, I've been on this kick of finding dolls from my birth year and scooping them up when I can. So I'm super excited to get this gal freed and played with. Starting with her box. Right away, I just need to say that this box is a blazing hot pink rectangle of 80s awesomeness. The first thing I want to mention is the aforementioned wearable ruffle. So it says, with ruffle to wear so many ways. It's just casually mentioned up here as if that was like an actual thing. As if wearable ruffles have their own section at Bloomingdale's or something. But Mattel wasn't going to give up the ghost on that concept. As evidenced by the photo shoot on the side of the box, where we get to see Barbie working her wearable ruffle to death. Barbie, stop trying to make wearable ruffles happen. Moving on. She's also got a giant white tropical flower slapped here across the front of the box, just in case we needed proof of her tropical credentials. Also, this Barbie boasts the longest hair ever, which as we know is just this innocent, adorable little snapshot in time. Because she couldn't know what was about to happen in the 90s with totally hair Barbie or jewel hair mermaid Barbie. So I think we'll just let her have her delusions. They're the only thing that's helped to keep her sane after all these decades of confinement. So she needs to take things slow, just one wearable ruffle at a time. On the back of the box, we see a picture of Barbie with her crew. We've got Ken and Miko and Skipper here, and they're all just very matchy-matchy in their colorful tropical swimsuits. And look, the sun always shines on Tropical Barbie and her friends. I hope someone remembered to pack the sunscreen, because if they didn't, then this kind of just feels like a threat. Okay, now let's get to the unboxing. All right, deep breath. We are opening a 40-year-old time capsule. So here she is on her card, and as always with these vintage Barbies from the 80s and 90s, I have to start by mentioning how easily packaged they are. 3 twist ties. That's it. And here she is, free at last. No more cardboard prison, no more twist ties holding her beach dreams hostage. And the first impression is that she's obviously way more tan than a regular Barbie. I think she probably started working on this tan long before her tropical vacation. I can totally picture her in a tanning bed. Wait, did they have tanning beds in the 80s? So after a quick Google search, turns out tanning beds came to the United States in 1979. So she definitely used them. Okay, now her hair. And I feel like when it comes to her hair, this was probably the whole selling point of this doll. Okay, so right now it's a bit of a middle-aged mess. It's in these 2 pigtails here. But after 40 years, there's still some good stuff here. It's got potential. I can work with this. As usual with these vintage dolls, I'm gonna have to deal with all of her rubber band carcasses, but the quality of the hair is nice. It's kind of thick. It's nice and heavy. So after a cleaning and a boil washing, I'll bet it'll be good as new. With that said, I'm gonna go take care of that and I will be right back. Okay, so it's been a couple of hours and I washed her hair. I conditioned it, I gave it a boil rinse, and this is the final result. Really, it probably didn't need all of that because it actually wasn't too bad, except of course for the rubber band carcasses. I had hoped to get this crease out of her hair from where she'd been wearing her wearable ruffle for the past 40 years, but I guess it's okay because really she has such beautiful hair. Though it's not as thick as I had originally thought. It's actually kind of thin, but it is super soft and brushable. Though the brush they gave her is this weird sort of funky 80s shaped brush that I don't think I've seen anything like it before. But you know what? I love it. It actually works pretty good. And usually these Barbie combs are kind of crap, but her hair's so thin and soft that it seems to work. And I guess it's kind of a nice change from the usual shell-shaped brush that Mattel started using around this time. But as for her actual hair, I love all of the various colors of blonde. It's got some really light streaks and some really dark streaks and some honey blonde streaks and a little bit of a flippy curl here at the bottom. But you know what? Let's face it, this doll and her hair is pretty much just the original Island Fun Barbie. Really, the only big difference between these two dolls is Island Fun has like wavy hair and Tropical Barbie's hair is much more straight. But you can see they have the same coloring to their hair and they're both sort of matched in terms of skin tone, and they both have the superstar face sculpt. So they are pretty identical, which probably makes me a sucker. But you know what, whatever, my bills are paid, so don't judge me. Moving on. So like I said, she's got the superstar face sculpt, which is pretty much my favorite face sculpt of all time. It's just such a soft, cheerful look with a big smile and full cheeks. And her face screening is very practical for tropical vacation fun. Bright blue eyes with just a tiny little touch of eyeshadow, and a sweet smile with soft pink lips. This is the smile of a girl who is absolutely certain that she's gonna win the limbo contest at the luau. Moving down to her bathing suit. So it's a one shoulder design with this bold, abstract pattern of black and yellow and pink and some blues. On the back, it goes kind of purple and green. Now, I think the pattern is actually supposed to be tropical flowers, but it kind of looks like someone just spilled paint onto a black canvas. But the cut is very 80s. It's super high on the hip and really snug through the torso here, which I guess is perfect for both swimming and water aerobics. It's actually sewn pretty nicely. It's got finished hems, and the colors are still nice and bright for something that's been out of fashion since 1985. And it's also got a clasp here on her left shoulder, and then another one here under her right arm, which we're gonna get to in just a second. But first, okay, now it's just time to discuss the controversial wearable ruffle. Aside from her 80s yellow brush, it's basically her only accessory. Now, this yellow ruffle is so random. I think it's supposed to be reminiscent of a tropical flower or something, because it's got these sheer layers that are kind of shaped like petals. But rather than being arranged on just a simple plastic band, they actually included a metal clasp. So, I mean, I guess that's a nice touch. It makes it feel slightly elevated for such a simple piece. So Barbie can actually wear it like a little skirt here around her waist, clasped in the back. Or you can actually snap it to her bathing suit, where she can wear it across her body from her shoulder down to under her arm like that. In her box, she actually came with this little booklet that I thought would maybe open up to reveal a few of the like sketches of different ways that she can wear the ruffle. Sort of like how they put one in the box with the Island Fun Barbie on how to wear her sarong. But when you open it up, it's basically just an advertisement for a bunch of different kinds of Barbies. It's got these beautiful high gloss images of various Barbies from the 80s, and it is double-sided. So it doesn't have any, sketches or anything like that on the many different ways that she can wear her wearable ruffle, but this will be a handy dandy guide for me as I go around collecting my various 80s dolls. But back to her wearable ruffle, I guess it adds an extra layer of flair to what would otherwise be a pretty basic styling. I mean, it's not like she came with shoes or anything, so she had to have some kind of a gimmick. So moving down to her arms and legs, she's a classic straight arm Barbie. No articulation drama here, which I actually tend to prefer. I've said it before, and I know it's controversial, but I don't actually like too much articulation. So this lady works for me. She doesn't have the bent superstar arms, and they don't actually go out to the sides. They just swing back and forth, which I mean, I guess is really all she needs to do a perfect breaststroke in the water while swimming. And it's the same thing with her legs. They just go back and forth. They don't go out at the hips, but they do have bend and snap knees. I always hate doing that on vintage dolls, it scares me. And even though she didn't come with any shoes, her feet are permanently sculpted in high heel mode, which probably makes it hard to walk on a sandy beach. But I'm glad for it, just in case I ever want to restyle her with some heels and an evening gown. So overall, the look of this doll is very simple, yet cohesive. It's just Barbie, her hair, her swimsuit, and a yellow ruffle. Everything about her says summer. The tan, the hair, the ruffle, the swimsuit, the smile. She looks like she belongs on a postcard that says, "Wish you were here." She's just on vacation, permanently, since 1985. She's such a fantastic snapshot of her era, and was an absolute must-have for me. If not for the hair alone, then as one vintage mid-80s product to another. And that is Tropical Barbie from 1985, with the longest hair ever up to that time, and a bizarre wearable ruffle that I'm sure is going to be the next big fashion trend any day now. All right, everyone, that's my deep dive into this tropical legend. Thank you so much for hanging out with me as I freed yet another piece of plastic history from her cardboard cage. I'm going to be doing these little doll reviews weekly, so if this is your thing, then stay tuned. Also, if you're into books, be sure to go check out my videos on book reviews, because I am, after all, the Barbie book boy. Let me know in the comments if you had this doll as a kid, or if she's on your wish list today. Until next time, don't forget your sunscreen, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!